So, Faraway Lucas, what are we talking about today?
We're not talking about Cooler, we're talking about Frieza.
So, Faraway Lucas, as you often do, would you like to explain for the lovely audience at home what the topic of today's Wiki Weekend is?
Yeah, we are talking about Dragon Ball's notorious villain known as Lord Frieza.
Yeah, the villain of Dragon Ball. We were referring specifically to the Dragon Ball fandom wiki, a link to which you will find below. And before anyone fucking asks, because I get asked this all the time, anytime we talk about Dragon Ball, yes, I've seen Dragon Ball Abridged. Lucas, have you seen Dragon Ball Abridged?
Yeah.
Yes, we've seen that thing that trended on the front page of YouTube every time they release a new episode. We just don't reference it a lot because it's their jokes and we don't want to steal them. If you want to hear Dragon Ball Abridged jokes, go watch their videos. Yeah. They're way better than these ones. Anyway, let's start as we often do at the beginning. We'll go with some biographical information about Frieza, or according to this, Frieza, which I believe is the weird way it's pronounced somewhere. Because Lucas, the most difficult task for you is going to be how you spell Frieza in the thumbnail.
Yeah.
Because already it says here, anime name, Frieza with an I, manga name, Frieza with two E's.
Oh, no.
So Lucas, what's the correct choice? Anyway, aliases, Frieza, again spelled differently, and Frieza spelled differently again. So Lucas, we are 8 words into this wiki entry and already there are 5 different spellings of Frieza, so good luck with that one, mate. Other aliases include F, Lord Frieza, and it's spelled the way it is in the anime, Emperor Frieza, and the Universal Emperor. And there's not many band names in there, but there certainly is a lot of cool shit. Because I just like the idea, it's just Emperor, and all of his moves have got amazing names, which presumably we'll get to very shortly. And so his manga debut was Planet Namek, Cold and Dark, and his anime debut was the episode Brood of Evil, whereas his movie debut was Dragon Ball Z, Bardock, the father of Goku, aka this shit shouldn't be canon. And then characteristics, race, he is a member of the Frieza race, and he's a mutant of that race. So not only is Frieza's race unknown, he's also a mutant example of it, so he's not even typical of what his race can do. Because I believe he mentions that a couple times in the show, doesn't he, where it's like, yeah, I'm more powerful than anyone else of my race, and I don't know why. I've never trained a day in my life, ever. And I love this as well. Gender, male, height, 158 centimetres, or 5'2" in his final form. And I love that the impetus for it's not Resurrection Episode, it's the Broly movie, is that Frieza wants to be 5 inches taller.
Oh, yeah.
So that he's 5'7". He wants to be one of those 5'7" warriors. It's like, but Lord Frieza, why don't you just walk around in your second form? Because you're taller in your second form. So I don't want to be taller in my second form. I want to be taller in my final form.
Yeah.
It's like, he's such a petty bitch, and I kind of love it. And also, because it's Dragon Ball, he's got 5 listed dates of his death.
Of course.
Which makes sense. They've got professional status, occupation, emperor. And then it says here allegiance, which shouldn't be a thing, because Frieza has no allegiance to any. It should say allegiance, Frieza. But what it actually says is the Frieza Force, the Ghost Warriors, and Team Universe 7 formally, because he immediately quits. And then we have relatives, which include the Frieza clan, his ancestor Chilled, his father King Cold, his older brother Cooler, and Kuriza, his son. And you may notice a theme there, folks at home. They are all devices that keep things cool, because a naming convention in Dragon Ball is that everyone is named after a foodstuff. Most notably the Saiyans, which are all named after vegetables. And I think it's quite fitting that the man who has his thumb on the Saiyan race, all the vegetables, is the device that has a vegetable crisper in it. Anyway. It says here, counterparts, Future Frieza, Xeno Frieza, Clone Frieza, and Frost. Who's just alternate universe Frieza.
Yeah, I love that even alternate universe version is it's still Frost.
It's
still under that icy name convention.
Which is, quite ironically, or not ironically, I don't know, because I don't know what that word means anymore after being on the internet. Quite cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, Lucas, thoughts on Frieza before we continue?
He's such a bellend and I love him.
Yeah, he's evil and he loves it, and there's a reason they keep bringing him back, because he's that good.
He is.
He's so charismatic despite being a huge ass. I love it.
He's the most interesting character in the least interesting way.
Yeah, because he's just evil and he's just a dick, and he's never anything more than that. But you kind of got to respect the commitment. The Broly movie, Like, he steals every scene he's in.
He does. He does.
I would watch a Frieza TV show where he doesn't do anything but walk around. I want to see that character just reacting to everyday situations.
Oh, God, yeah.
Of like his subordinates telling him, Lord Frieza, we're out of milk. He's like, God damn it, can no one get? It's like, I just want to see that shit. Anyway, we continue with a quote from Frieza himself from the episode Namek's Defense. And it has, I doubt I need an introduction, but just in case, I am the mighty Frieza. And yes, all the horrible stories you have heard are true.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. He blows up planets for fun.
He does, yeah. He blows up Namek with very little effort.
Oh yeah, he blows up Namek when he's like a fraction of the power level Goku ends up like 100 episodes later. Mm-hmm. Like casually as well, with that one little flick of his wrist, like whong, planet destroyed. And they fight on it for 5 whole minutes. I can't believe it. Anyway, Frieza is the Emperor of Universe 7 who controls his own Imperial army and is feared for his ruthlessness and power. He is descendant of Chilled, the second son of King Cold, the younger brother of Cooler, fuck yeah, Cooler, best theme song in Dragon Ball FighterZ, and the father of Frieza. Frieza is the catalyst antagonist, so a cool band name there for everybody if you want to steal them from these videos, of the entire franchise as his actions that led to Goku arriving on Earth, also becoming a Super Saiyan. He's made several comebacks since his fight with Goku on Namek, including multiple invasions of Earth. Says that he's the main antagonist of like almost every saga and like 50 movies.
Of course he is.
He's the main antagonist of like basically the entire series. He's always in the background plotting, even when he's in hell.
Yeah.
And I love his explanation of Frieza, why you're so strong, you're in hell. It's like, I imagine beating you up over and over again, it made me stronger. I can't argue with that. So we'll move on to appearance. According to Akira Toriyama, Frieza's design is an amalgamation of what he thought monsters looked like in his childhood. It also says here that Frieza was inspired by Toriyama's second editor, Yu Kondo. According to Daishenzu 2, Toriyama was also inspired to create Frieza due to the events of the Japanese economic bubble that had occurred at the time he was writing the Saiyan saga, with Frieza specifically being based on real estate speculators, which Toriyama claimed were the worst kinds of people.
What?
It doesn't bother to go into any extra details like that. Apparently, a guy whose literal job is just destroying planets for fun and enslaving entire like races of people to fight in his army and aid his goal of galactic conquest is as bad as a Japanese real estate developer. Frieza is one of the villains in the series who possesses an entire range of transformations, and then some, each one being quite different than the others. It is implied by Vegeta and Frieza himself in the series that Frieza's fourth, most powerful form is actually his original form, with his other 3 forms suppressing and conserving his enormous power. Frieza later confirms this while fighting Goku, so you didn't really need to put that bit in, did you?
No.
If it's confirmed, just say Frieza has confirmed. Anyway, his forms seem to revolve around both Western and Japanese concepts of demons. Yeah, fair enough. And it says here that according to an interview done by Shonen Jump with Toriyama, Frieza's final form was purposely made to look small and less menacing. Toriyama wanted to go against the expectation that villains and monsters become bigger and meaner looking the stronger they are. Like something he already did with Vegeta and Nappa. So, yeah.
Yeah, I suppose.
It's not really that surprising because like the twist of that, I suppose, is like, oh, Nappa, the 8-foot-tall bald man who's like wider than a car bonnet, he's actually the weaker of the two compared to like all 5 foot of Vegeta just stood there, chilling. Lucas, what is your favourite form of Frieza though?
Well, I mean, it's got to be just the final form for how sleek it is, but I do love the idea that his next transformation is just turning solid gold.
I thought you might appreciate Fabulous Frieza, but
yeah.
I'm a big fan of Mecha Frieza.
Oh yeah, he looks cool.
I quite like Mecha Frieza, and I'm annoyed that he doesn't get more play. But like the fact he gets cut in half instantly, so he gets killed by 2 super. Like the first 2 Super Saiyans to exist in the series, he immediately gets like stomped by. So at least he's keeping with the theme. Oh my God, Lucas. There's a description of all his forms here. So we have here Lucas, in his first form, Frieza usually wears battle armor with a purple chest plate. When in his natural true form and also his golden form, he wears his racer's ultimate biosuit, the Z fighting suit. When in his mecha form, his body... Lucas, there's no blue text, so we have to continue. Keep up. When in his mecha form, his body is equipped with a permanent cosmic suit. In the Universal Survival Saga, he has a halo on his head due to being dead. Although he removed this after the tournament due to Whis restoring his life for good behaviour. In a series of stamps promoting Dragon Ball Super, showed Ideal Boss Frieza, some depicting the tyrant wearing a black tuxedo. And just pictured is a picture of Frieza wearing a tuxedo. And I want that to be his final form now.
Oh my god.
Like, instead, when he turns gold, I want him to like, put the suit on. Oh, so good. That's so good.
Oh, man.
I always assumed that he was just like naked, but no, he's wearing a survival biosuit. He doesn't explain why he can breathe in space, which might be the stupidest fucking line ever. Yeah, why are you destroying the planet, Frieza? It's going to kill us both. You fool, I can breathe in space. There's no air in space, Frieza. So I think that was just a big lie, and he was just doing the Danny DeVito suicide is badass tactic. Anyway, personality. Oh my god, this section goes on for like 500 hours. Oh Luke, I'm not kidding. I'm scrolling for like a good minute, and it just keeps talking about Frieza's personality. So I think we could sum up Frieza's personality by saying Frieza's a bellend.
Yeah, Frieza will always stab you in the back, and his Team Frieza all the way.
And then we've got biography, which again is always super boring. And the next section, I believe, is the one that you looked over to make sure like this video would have some funny stuff in it for a wiki weekend. That's film appearances, and that goes on and on and on as well.
Yeah.
And then we've got other Dragon Ball stories, but none of that. Let's just get on to the thing that all fans of Dragon Ball like talking about, and I'm presuming all the fans watching this right now are bitching about in the comments. Power level. Power, manga and anime. Frieza is one of the most powerful mortal warriors in Universe 7 and the multiverse as a whole. He was born a mutant with abnormally great power in comparison to the rest of his race. Even though the rest of his family are strong, Frieza has always been in a completely different league. The intensity of Frieza's power, even at his weakest, can effortlessly destroy entire planets. Upon hearing that Frieza was defeated, the god of destruction Beerus was shocked that this was even possible. He is also recognised as a prodigy of such innate talent and natural growth that he became known as the most powerful warrior in the universe with no real training.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
He just woke up and went, oh, okay, I'm the most powerful warrior in the universe now.
Yeah, well, they do that, don't they? When he becomes Golden Frieza, he trains for 4 months.
Yeah.
He attains a power that takes Goku and Vegeta literally years of effort and training to achieve in 4 months. And then people have the cheat to complain about cauliflower and kale getting really strong in the tournament of power. It's like, that's what Saiyans do.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Like, Frieza can achieve godhood in like 4 seconds, but whatever. And then he just has here like some of his feats. It's like, you know, when in his final form, Frieza's suppressed power of a mere 1% was more than a match for the 4 fighters. And that's like Krillin, Gohan, Vegeta, and Piccolo.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, and it just keeps going on. I love as well in Dragon Ball, people are able to so definitively pinpoint how much of their power they're using.
Yeah.
Like they can always say, I'm using 50% of my power. So how do you know you're using exactly 50% of your power?
Yeah.
That always confused me. I don't get that. How do you know? How do they know?
I don't know, I've never thrown a punch and gone, yeah, that was 74% of my power.
Yeah, like Goku does it when he's fighting Beerus. It's like, oh, I'm only going at about 80% myself. It's like, how the fuck do you know that you're going at 80%? Also, you're fighting for your life. In the Universal Survival Saga, despite being immobilized for over a year since entering Hell, Frieza's control of his ki grew through constant image training. This newfound refined control let Frieza use the golden form for extended periods of time with virtually no strain. In the anime, this growth let him remain unaffected by the energy of destruction, which is a base component of the universe that can destroy anything, but not Golden Frieza, because you can't destroy that much swag. Swag is immortal, Lucas, as Frieza proves. During the Tournament of Power, Final Form, Frieza eliminated several fighters. In the anime, Frieza easily defeated the likes of... I have no idea how to pronounce any of these names. But honestly though, Lucas, do you remember anyone from the Tournament of Power who's not Jiren?
I remember, like, his team, I guess. I don't remember the names.
Well, the Jobber Troopers, yeah, that's right. And then what it does, it keeps flitting between the anime and the manga of, like, various things that Frieza does. But, yeah, he's pretty strong. Well, the annoying thing is it keeps flitting between timelines. It's referencing movies that came out, but then it's referencing things that happened in the anime after the movies came out. It's like, well, we already know he's strong enough to do one thing. So let's just say he's about as strong as a god.
Yeah.
Also, he's gold.
He's just solid gold, yeah.
He's got, like, Lucas, how do you fight a man who's gold? You can't. You can't fight a man who's gold. Long story short, Frieza is pretty powerful. So let's move on swiftly to abilities. And this, Luke, is where we're going to get some band names. And as a fan of Dragon Ball, do you want to take a guess what Frieza's most iconic move is, or the first one listed at least.
Oh, well, it's going to be something starting with death. I know that
Yeah,
much.
it's got to be something starting with death.
Maybe Death Ball?
Nah, it's Death Beam, finger point.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
It's like, it was him, the snitch finger. It was him, sir. He's the one who did it. It's like your Death Beam is a piercing beam of energy fired from the fingertip. It is his signature and most heavily used technique. If this technique is not able to pierce a target, it instead creates a huge city-sized explosion. And then we have Death Ball, which is just a ball of death energy. Then we have Death Cannon, which instead of being fired from the fingertip, is an entire like palm blast.
Yeah.
And he has, oh man, some of these are so good. Like we've got Nova Strike.
Oh, I love that one.
Which is an attack where Frieza wraps himself in energy and flies straight at his foe to tackle them. Used against Goku or Namek, but also used against Jiren to eliminate him during the Tournament of Power.
Yeah.
Because that's the bit where he just grabs Jiren and just does, like, the classic, the Ganondorf dunk of, like, fuck you, you didn't win. He just grabs him and flies off the edge. And then Jiren just flexes and, like, changes their trajectory so they hit a rock. It's great.
Yeah.
Then we have Death Saucer, which I like because it's based on one of my favourite moves in the show, the Destructo Disc.
Yeah.
And it says here that after witnessing Krillin's Destructo Disc, Frieza quickly created his own upgraded version, named the Death Saucer.
Wait, so he just saw Krillin go and use the Destructo Disc and went, yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I'm going to make my own. And it says here that it's better than the Destructo Disc because it's faster and homes in on its target. And then it goes like through a list of his forms, which we've already covered briefly, so I don't need to talk about those. But we do have to give a special mention to 100% full power form. Wide Frieza. Wide Frieza always deserves its own special mention.
Oh, that thick boy.
Yeah, he's so wide, Lucas. Wide Frieza. And then you've got Golden Frieza. And oh my god, he's so powerful. Do you know what I love as well? Like, there's different forms of Golden Frieza. Did you know that?
Wait, what?
Yeah, we have Golden Frieza, which obviously when he turns gold for the first time. And then after that, you've got, I quote, true Golden Frieza. When he's mastered the state of being golden. So Shin Golden Frieza, true Frieza.
Oh,
and then
man.
After that, you have Rage Golden Frieza, which is when he's angry. Which is an empowered state of Golden Frieza when he's very, very angry.
Oh, man, I love Dragon Ball. It's like, oh, yeah, he transforms into, like, Golden Frieza. Oh, well, he needs 3 forms of Golden Frieza.
Well, that's what I like about, like, Super Saiyan God. It's like, oh, Super Saiyan God, that must be the greatest form of, like, Super Saiyan ever. And then Vegeta goes Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan 2 or something shit like that.
Yeah.
It's like, it's so dumb. I fucking love Dragon Ball for shit like that. And then there's, like, all of his fusion forms from the various games, like when he forms with Cooler to create Cooliza.
Oh, my God,
Or
I've never seen this.
Ginyu-iza, which is when he forms with Ginyu. I like this as well. On a section about his powers, it lists his spaceship. His spaceship is one of his powers. The large ship, he's like, it's shaped like a saucer, a traditional flying saucer, and it's used for interplanetary travel. He even clarifies here, though, that Frieza doesn't need it. Because he can already breathe in space and fly fast enough to, to go anywhere.
He only used it to, like, transport his troops, really.
Yeah, basically. And the thing is, though, his troops are so useless. He kills them all the time.
Yeah.
And Lucas, to end on, we have here a list of characters killed by Frieza. And what I'd like you to do is, just at some point during the reading of this list, to start fading to black. And then let the audience at home know on that black screen how long I went on for, just to highlight how many characters Frieza has killed. So we have 4 Saiyan army snipers, King Vegeta, King Vegeta's elite soldiers, Bardock, like Goku's father, Frieza soldiers, Saiyans, which include Jean, Leek, Neon, Morocco. It's like, he's killed the entire Earth twice. And they still list amongst that, oh, but there's another time he also killed an entire city.
It's like he destroyed Earth.
Fucking hell, Frieza.